From Kalamsat, the world's smallest satellite, to 27 missions across the globe, Dr. Srimathy Kesan has carved her place as a pioneering aerospace entrepreneur. A NASA ambassador and decorated with ambassador status at ESA and GCTC Moscow, she is the first Indian woman to experience a zero-gravity flight. She now brings her vision to Sri Lanka through Shakti Sat. On Kaleidoscope Ceylinco Life Dialogues, we explore her extraordinary journey and how she hopes to inspire our girls to reach for the stars. Tell me, why did you choose Sri Lanka as the next chapter for Space Kids?
Sri Lanka plays a very, very important role as a sister country to India. We almost share everything, not only the waters, but the culture, and so many things are common, the emotions and everything. Well, and critically, when we launch our rockets from Sriharikota, it actually goes through Sri Lanka, crosses Sri Lanka. So we are almost like, sisters, I have to tell you. So whatever we are doing in India, definitely Sri Lanka has to be a part of it.
How do you think Shakti Sat is going to change the way girls look at science and space?
When I wanted to build a mascot for this, I looked out at all the toy manufacturers around the globe, and I wanted to find out if somebody built a scientific toy, a scientist, a girl scientist holding a satellite rocket or something. I didn't find even one manufacturer doing something like this. It was hurtful. So we are telling the girls, you are defined to this role. That's where Shakti Sat comes in, breaks all the shackles, give them that power to think beyond sky. Not only sky is the limit, it's beyond the sky. So it's going to be a real game changer.
You've launched 27 missions. What is the toughest hurdle that you had to overcome in that journey?
26 space missions were all with boys. The 27th mission was an all-girls mission. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, we had to handpick 750 rural girls of India. Everybody actually mocked at me. They said, rural girls, why don't you just pay their fees? Put them in some classes. Why space? Why satellite? Because anyways, the amount of investment of time, money, whatsoever you call it, is just going to go to the drain because they are going to get married. To convince the principal was challenging. Today, at least 90% of the girls have moved on, have taken science as their subject and want to serve the country as scientists, as fighter pilots, as astronauts. So it's the belief, it's what you want to give to the girls.
Kalamsat became the world's smallest satellite. What sparked that innovation?
We had our balloon sat launched. And the success of the balloon sat, we were all celebrating, at home, because we didn't have a lab then. My home played as the lab. And the kids, my team, they all were so excited because first ever time the country saw a balloon soaring high, and we retrieved the payload, which was something unbelievable, unimaginable at that time, 2015. Everybody wanted a gulab jamun. My team, they were enjoying, not eating, but looking at the gulab jamuns. My chief scientist, a 14-year-old kid, said, "Ma'am, it would be so good if we are able to build a satellite of this size." I think that was manifestation. Within the next 3-4 days, NASA announced a challenge where 64 grams payload, anything it could be, we needed to send a proposal. And if the proposal got chosen, we were to fly a NASA Stereo Orion rocket. Imagine, 2017. To get your payload in space, and that too through NASA, was mind-boggling. And Gulab Jamun turned out to be Kalamsat, the world's lightest payload, and that too, the first Indian payload, lightest to go in a NASA's rocket.
You're recognized by NASA, ESA and GCTC Moscow. How have these honors shaped your mission?
My journey started off as a homemaker. 16 years of being at home, and then totally jumping into this man's world, space, not being an engineer, not being a person from science background. But that's where I thought we can get innovators, we can create scientists, we can get engineers to work for you. But the entrepreneurial mindset to bring everybody together, to create a space ecosystem is something different, something very powerful, something challenging. I said, I will do this. And all this exposure at NASA, ESA, GCTC, everything gave me that courage that you can do it. Because ultimately you are looking at bringing the children of your country, that was past, but today the globe together.
Floating in zero gravity with Apollo astronaut Charles Duke, what did that experience teach you?
I didn't sleep for almost like 4 months, while I got this opportunity. I was looking at the email, and Christina Kopp, she's an astronaut wrangler, and she's been taking care, managing right from Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin and everybody. So she writes an email and says, Srimathy, why don't you join the zero gravity flight with Apollo astronaut Charlie Duke? I kept reading those mails again and again and again. And finally the D-Day came. I looked at him. I was standing next to him. He put a label for me. He was flying alongside me. He was interacting with me. A 90-year-old astronaut who actually touched the moon. Oh, for me it was like God.
You're building satellites for Earth orbit, for lunar missions. What is that like?
Until this day, we've been building low Earth orbit missions. But the moment I said we have to build a satellite to the moon, there was a lot of emotions, and there was a lot of change within me. In this journey, you're not the only one. You're actually taking so many girls with you. And it's not from one country, it's not from your state, it's from the entire globe. It was like everybody was waiting to put the dots together. Because the moment I told them that, each country, I started interacting with women around, and they were like, we were also thinking that somewhere we should do something like this. So I thought probably this was some sort of a planning that was done by universe long ago, and it's just bringing everybody together. And I feel 300 people coming to India to build a satellite to the moon. I'm unable to envision the power, how India is going to really face when all these people are going to be there. It's huge. It's really huge.
So we know only of one mission that actually went onto the moon. When are we going to have the next one? Is it going to be girls?
So the girls that we are training now, someday I'm sure they're going to be leading these missions. We've just had Artemis 2, where there was one woman astronaut who actually went around the moon just about 2-3 weeks ago, but nobody's yet stepped onto the moon. And I'm sure one child someday from Mission Shakti Sat will step onto the moon.
So what's your ultimate dream for Shakti Sat?
27% of leaders globally. Shakti Sat is not just building a satellite. We're actually grooming a leader. We need more women presidents, prime ministers who can lead the country. Because when there is a woman leading, there's a lot of empathy. The way things are handled are definitely very different, progressive. So we want children, especially girls, not only build satellites but groom to be leaders.
So what's your ultimate vision then for Space Kids Sri Lanka?
And from a country like Sri Lanka, they have to be more girls into all these, not so heard industries or not so heard professions, or the men leading professions. In these, I think we need more girls, more women. And with regards to space, literally we need to have a launch pad here. So I want to groom the girls here, given an opportunity. groom them to build drones, satellites, and rockets, because the world is moving towards space. We cannot be behind.
From YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, on Kaleidoscope, we have stories that matter. Subscribe and follow. Don't miss out.
You focus on your goals. We will take care of the risks. Ceylinco Life.